Hello, this is Paul Cheney with Spartan Design University. Let's take a look at Photoshop and the process of creating this background image that sits behind only on the desktop. So here we've got a blank document. It's image size. In pixels, it's 1600 by 751. Okay. What I'm going to do is there's a section in here in the middle that the web page covers, and then the space on the edges is where I want my imagery to show up. So let me bring up my layers palette. First of all, I have this router picture I grabbed and kind of dropped it here on the top. And then I put a picture of a little kid on this side, and I did some Photoshop to erase around him. You've got a mask on him here. If I disable that mask, we can see that he was surrounded by white. And then I did another kid over on this side, once again with the mask. If I disable it, I can see that he was on white as well. And then that's way too intense. Okay, I want it muted. So I'm going to cover it with a black layer at 70%, so these are now 30% see-through. And then I've got a problem with, I don't want his sleeve to kind of have that sharp edge where it disappears into black, and I don't want his pant legs to look like they're just suddenly chopped off. Same with this board right here and this board right here. So I'm going to add another layer, and I'm going to paint a mask on it so that there's a transition from transparent. See how there's black around this? That means that this is going to fade in until right at the edge it's 100% black. And that's going to overlay everything so that we have a look like this, where everything fades to black on the edges. That way it's a nice smooth transition between my image and the background image. Then I'm going to do File, Save for Web. So as a JPEG, the quality doesn't need to be anything big. In fact, I want it really low so that it loads very quickly. So I'm going to set it at a quality of 10. Save that, put it out here on my desktop. And click Save. And there it is. So there's my finished image. Now, in my Home Center Practice folder, I have an images, and there's the body background that I just exported. It's the same as this one. So now I just need to put some CSS in my Dreamweaver file to make it appear. So I'm going to go to the desktop. Under the body tag, we'll start with a background dash image. And Dreamweaver allows me to simply browse to the desktop, to my example, to my images, and grab the body background. And it puts the correct path in for me. Now, let's save that. It's not done yet. It's going to have some problems, but here's our version, and there's our image. Now, let me shrink it. Okay, so if our page is tiny, you can see that this image, even though it's massive, it's 1600 pixels wide, on a huge monitor, it would now repeat, both horizontally and vertically. So the next thing we're going to do is turn the background repeat off. That should leave us with a single image on a massive monitor. Problem is it's in the wrong spot. I don't want it clear way to the left. I want it immediately behind my web page. So we'll add one more statement. Background position. The first one is the x-axis. We want it centered left to right. And then we want it to be at the top of the page. So there it is tucked in there. When I go back to my normal real size, there's my image in place. Now, this header, I can see through to this background image, and it's a little disconsoling to have this text on top of that. I need I need to darken this. So let's go back to Dreamweaver. Let's talk to the header, desktop. We currently have no rules there. We'll set the background color to an RGBA value. So we need a red, a green, and a blue, and an alpha. We'll do 80% or 0.08. That should darken this section right here. Now I can barely see through. In fact, I can hardly see anything with a 0.8. So let me go back and let's try half of that. Let's try 0.4. And now I can see a little bit, but my text still pops. So that gives me a nice combination, and if I don't like that, I can go up or down with my alpha value. So there's our finished background image with a semi-transparent header bar.